Okay, so this is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. It's my craziest escorting story, but it's also definitely the craziest thing that's ever happened to me, period. Like, period. Like, when something like this happens to you, it's hard to even know how to talk about it. Just kidding. It's really easy. I'm going to make a whole YouTube video about it. It took place about 1 year ago. I had recently moved back to Toronto from Montreal. I was staying with my mom, living with my mom. I had 3 friends coming to visit who were also escorts, and we all rented an Airbnb together. So we were doing like the whole like party and work thing. So we were partying, making a lot of money. Obviously, I couldn't work at my mom's house, so this was great for me. I got to see a lot of my friends I missed since I recently moved. So it was great. We were having a great time. Lots of partying, lots of drugs, lots of alcohol, lots of money, lots of clients coming in and out for all of us. We were all doing good. So it had already been a few days. I'd already made a lot of money. Like, it had already been a really good week. So one evening, I get a call, or a text rather. So this guy asked me if I could come to Burlington, Ontario. I didn't know where Burlington was, so Google mapped it, and Burlington is really far from Toronto. Like, not really far in the grand scheme of how far places are, but Burlington isn't so much a suburb of Toronto, it's more a suburb of the next city over. And where I was going wasn't even really in Burlington proper. This was like, I was being called to a suburb of the next city over. Not even a suburb of my city, like a suburb of the next city over. I don't really want to go. I already have money. You know what I mean? It sounded like to go that far, it was going to be too much work. More work than is worth it. I just told the guy like through text, I was like, okay, yeah, I could come, but it has to be, you have to Uber me all the way there. And he was like, okay, no problem. And I was like, I'm back. And he's like, okay, no problem. And I kind of like, damn it. Like, I was like a little bit wishing he would just like cancel or be like, oh, okay, no, I don't have Uber or something. And I could move on and take the next client. But he's like, okay. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll make it a little harder for him because I really don't want to go to Burlington. So I was like, and you have to get at least 4 hours or 5 hours or something. I don't remember how much I said if I'm going that far. And he was like, no problem. So I was like, oh, that makes it less and less of a viable option for me to not go because like at this point I can't really turn down that much money. But I still don't really trust him, so I don't really want to go. So I tell him, and you have to e-transfer me deposit half of it now, and then I'll come. And like basically, guys rarely will do that, especially not for transsexual. I know a lot of you didn't notice. Bless your heart. Also, some of you have eyes and ears. I did, so good for you too. That's great. He sends me an e-transfer deposit for half of it, so I tell him the address of where I am, and I get in the Uber, and I'm on my way. So I'm in the Uber, going all the way, like it's the middle of the night, so there's no traffic, so it's only about an hour away, but still, it's pretty long. I'm usually, 15 minutes, 20 minutes for an out call. So, like, we're about to get there. We get to where it is, like, and the Uber can't really figure out where this address is. I tell him, like, oh, maybe some of these townhouses. It isn't, though, so I already had half of it. I call him, he doesn't pick up. I call again, he doesn't pick up. I text him, he doesn't respond. So I'm like, okay, whatever, like, bring me back. Like, so the Uber driver doesn't want to, because, like, I can't do it on the phone, but I'm just, like, literally, like, I'm not going to get out here in the middle of nowhere if I don't know where I'm going. Like, honestly, at this point, I don't give a shit if his Uber knows that he's hiring an escort. Like, it just, like, I'm just, like, literally, I'm not getting out in the middle of nowhere. It was cold. It wasn't warm. And I was dressed like I am now. So the Uber turns around eventually after some convincing, and then I get a call. And the guy's like, no, I'm here. Like, come back. And I'm like, okay, but I couldn't find your, like, place. So he's like, whatever. Like, he's like, just come back. So I'm like, okay. And then he's like, it's in a business. So I didn't realize it was in this box mall, not box malls, strip mall, but not with stores, like with like facilities or factories, like, or something. It looks more industrial rather than commercial. I'm kind of like, but at the same time, he's paying me a lot of money, like, like a lot of money. I go in and like what I see is a weird sort of, almost it looks thrown together sort of reception area. There's like a podium sort of desk thing and a TV that sort of seems useless. To be honest, the only thing that it reminded me of was maybe like the reception at an erotic massage parlor or something. Like, it was really weird. It looked like it was kind of for show. I don't know what happens at this facility, but I'm not judgmental, so I don't really care. Like, in the back I can see there's a door that goes to some, like, heavy machinery or something. Like, I don't know what they make in there. I would assume, like, illegal drugs, legal weapons, like, you know, like, I don't fucking know. But it's really weird. Like, so he takes me into the office where as soon as I walk in, it's obvious he's been living with a cat. Like, he's living there with a cat. It is filthy. Like a mess. Like, I can't even explain. Like, barely, like, hard to walk. It was so messy, it was hard to walk through. There was half-drank beer bottles, it looked like, everywhere. Piles of garbage everywhere. Dirty takeout containers. Just, like, every kind of mess you could think of. He was obviously sleeping on the couch for several days of his office. It's dark, so I can't really see the full extent of what's going on. He has, like, a desk. Like, it's obviously a functional office, but he's obviously been living there and probably not really being showing other people. Like, I probably one of the only people who saw it. Like, it was disgusting. I'm really chill. Like, I didn't really give a fuck. He paid me so much money. Like, I really didn't care. Honestly, I wasn't worried. As a client, he was really easy. It was just me sucking his dick. He was doing cocaine the whole time. So after sucking his flaccid dick for about an hour and a half, he's like, I have to go to the bathroom. By the way, I hadn't had to go, so I wasn't aware of where the bathroom even was in such a strange place. He gets up to go to the bathroom, and he picks up a beer bottle that's empty on his desk, and he just pisses in it. Ew. All these half-drank beer bottles were piss. They were piss. So then he's like, okay, it's fine, you can go. And nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. He turns on the light. So he's sitting at his desk when he tells me that I can go. I'm sitting in the chair in front of him when he tells me that, and he's like, okay, I'll call you an Uber. He turns on the light, so I see everything that's behind him. And what's there, what I see, literally nothing could have prepared me for what I saw behind him when the lights came on. Nothing could have prepared me for what I saw. So he turns on the light, and I see a whole entire bookshelf with a display on it. So I see, like, a whole bookshelf with an almost shrine-like, I would say, display dedicated to Donald Trump. No matter what you think about Donald Trump, like, that's a pretty, like, I'm talking, like, portrait, photo, a signed book, mega hat, like a whole, like, display centered around a photo of him, like, with all these different Donald Trump sort of paraphernalia, a bobblehead. Like, you can't make this shit up. Pretty funny thing, pretty intense thing to see, like, I was trying to not have my jaw be dropping, but, like, I was shook. So I'm, like, sitting there trying to, but I don't really know what to say. Like, it was, like, so weird. So I'm just, like, you know, I'm awkward because I don't really know what to say. Like, I don't really want to look at the thing behind him, but I don't know where else to look, so I'm trying to look away when I'm trying to not look away. So I ask him, what is your cat's name? And he's like, Donald. I didn't lose it there. I don't know how. I could have lost it. That's hilarious. Like, his cat is named after Donald Trump. So, whatever. The Uber's still 20 minutes away, and after it's maybe 10 minutes to go, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna, like, stand outside. I didn't give him a reason, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go stand outside. Because it was too weird. I had to get out. And yeah, that was for sure the weirdest, absolute weirdest time I ever had escorting.